All right, good morning, everybody. Today's date is October 4th, 2023. This is a regular meeting of the members of the State Liquor Authority being conducted in New York City with video conferencing to Albany and Buffalo. This meeting's also being live streamed on the authority's YouTube channel. Present today are Chair Lily Fan and Commissioner Edgar De Leon. Staff in attendance, General Counsel Shannon Kearney-Sarfo, Maureen Hughes from the Licensing Bureau, and myself, Secretary Roper. The next regular meeting dates are October 25th, November 8th, and November 28th. While in the meeting rooms, please silence your mobile phones and take any phone calls or conversations outside. And please do not touch the microphones when you approach. Items will be called in the order they are signed in, first in Buffalo, then Albany, and then in New York City. When your item is called, please approach the podium and identify yourself. Representatives should also identify their clients who are present. Chair, do you have any announcements?
We've been talking about this, and as you guys know, as a result of our new computer system launch that is due for October 10th, our next full board meeting, it's not on the 18th, but rather on the 25th. And then from then on, we're going to have longer gaps as previously announced. So the next full board is October 25th, November 8th, November 28th, December 19th. There will be 4 more full board meetings in 2023. As we get ready for this computer system, we are all holding our breath. It's supposed to work. Our staff has been going through endless training this week. When they come to work on Tuesday, there's supposed to be a whole new system that everybody is learning how to use. As you imagine, that is an overwhelming exercise for all of us. This has been in the plans for more than 10 years, and so it's exciting for us, but also very anxiety, driving us towards change. And so there are a few things that is going to change initially. Starting on Tuesday, if you get an approval, license certificate will be emailed out in a file in an attachment. It's not coming in a link, it's coming in a file that will be attached to an email, initially probably both to the applicant and also to the representative. So license certificates, again, are coming in an email. It's not going to be coming in the mail anymore. So if you get approved on Friday, it's going to come in the mail. If you're getting approved on Tuesday, it's coming in an email. It's just the way it's going to be, and bear with us as we transition. There is going to be a new enhanced permit portal. Instead of being redirected to Acela, applicants will now go to New York Business Express, just like in the past, and then you'll see an enhanced portal. It would just be as user-friendly. You're not going to be redirected to Acela. There is going to be a video tutorial and a user manual on the SLA website to guide you if you want to figure out how to use the new permit portal. Communication now from our agency will mostly be via email as opposed to mailing you a letter. Notices of pleading and hearing notices will now be emailed instead of being mailed to you. And there is also going to be a new change in system. Instead of just serial numbers, there will now be an application ID. And if you get approved, there will be a new license ID. So those are going to be 2 different numbers. But if you use your old serial number, you should be able to still pull up applications and existing licenses and be able to use our system the ways you've always used it. It's just that now there are going to be new application IDs as we transition to LEAP. We are trying our best on our end to communicate. All the information is going to be on our website as things change. As you know, We're working with a vendor that's building the tools. We find out as, you know, in real time whether the tools work or not. We're going through last minute fixes between now and next Tuesday. It's going to be an ongoing process. Check our website, bear with us, be patient with us. We welcome your feedback. If there is a tool that is really not working for you and something is falling on the ground, we ask you to communicate with us using our usual channels. Licensing info is a good place to use. Your licensing examiner is there. As we're all transitioning and learning how to use this, we're also there to answer your questions. But bear with us as we leap into the future.
All right. The first item's in Buffalo. The item number is 1193, Entertainment on 3rd LLC.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Mary Dorsadio. I am the consultant for Entertainment on 3rd. I prepared the method of operation application that I believe is before the board now. And this is the sole proprietor of Entertainment on 3rd, Lawrence Pacifical.
And what are your hours now? What time do you close, sir?
12 midnight.
Okay. And you are adding DJ live music karaoke?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there going to be any music outdoors?
No, ma'am.
And
It's going to be all light types of music, nothing crazy or anything like that.
Yeah, acoustic only, 1 or 2 people, and they would be performing 7 to 10 p.m. inside.
okay. So you will agree to acoustic music only, no amplification, and ending at 10 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Are you okay with it? Okay.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
so sometime the acoustic, they plug into a small amp, but it wouldn't be band-like.
It's not like the outside out of the building will hear noise or anything like that.
Okay. What about your DJ?
We have no plans for a DJ at this point, but if we wanted to have a special event, we wanted to have that flexibility.
Okay. Do you have residents around you?
No, ma'am. We're in a commercial area.
Okay. All right. So, since you have no complaints on file with the police, I'm just going to trust your judgment as far as the amount of bass and amplification you use, sir.
Absolutely. It's more, I don't want to call it dinner theater, but it's more of a ambient music more than.
Okay. I'm
show.
comfortable with giving you the control over the noise level if you agree to 10 p.m. Is that okay?
Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
fair?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to vote yes on DJ live karaoke music, but music has to end by 10 p.m. and nothing outdoors.
And Commissioner?
I also vote to approve with the conditions stated.
All right, you've been approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your
Have a
help.
great day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for coming in.
Thank
And
you.
Bye-bye.
fine. And there's nothing else in Buffalo, correct, Nicole?
That is correct.
All right, if you could leave it open till 10:30,
We'll do.
then sign
Thank you.
off. Thank you. And Paula, there's no one in Albany.
Correct.
All right, same thing. If you can stay up till 10:30.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so moving to New York City, the first one is 1148 and 1149, New York Romanticos, Inc. I got that mixed up. It's 1160. Sorry. Cork Buzz 4 LLC. That's right.
Good morning, members. Max Bookman and Phil Dorn from Pizetsky and Bookman PC for the applicant. To my right is Laura Manick. She is the principal of the applicant for a wine-only off-premises store in Chelsea Market. Shall we proceed?
And are you opposition?
Yes.
And we do have opposition here.
Okay, let her just put her name on the record.
Oh, sorry.
No, I know you know her, the opposition, please.
Sure. For, as in opposition, Marcotti and Associates by Louis Cesari, representing Chelsea Winery Lit, and I have the principal. Amelia, put your name.
Amelia Gankars,
And you've had your store since when?
1997.
1997, and you were inside Chelsea Market and you moved
for
across the
25
street.
years. Yep.
And you moved that during the pandemic,
At the end
November,
of the-
yeah,
at the end of
November.
last year.
2021,
End of
22.
last year.
Okay. Okay. And are you going into the space that they had,
Yes.
the actual same space?
The actual space.
I understand. Okay. Go ahead.
Sure. So first to start, obviously, this was a removal less than a year ago. They moved 385 feet roughly.
Yeah.
So again, within 1,500 feet of this particular location, there are 8 liquor stores, all off-premise liquor stores. Obviously, the sales of my client, they've gone down dramatically over the years. In 19, they had almost 8 million in sales. Then obviously, as 20 hit, their sales dropped because of the pandemic, went down to about 2.5 million because the building itself had closed. 21, while they were trying to redevelop their business, because obviously Drizzly and all the other to-go services were cutting in, their sales were even lower, probably 1.5 million. Then obviously a dispute with the landlord over what the rent was going to be raised to was an issue. They moved across the street, and their sales this year probably would be just about $1.5 million. Again, there are issues with the outside of the building they're currently in, blocking access. But right now, they're still getting business from Chelsea Market. If the wine store opens up inside Chelsea Market, they'll be devastated. There'll be no outside foot traffic whatsoever. And again, it'll also kill the other local stores too that people are now leaving Chelsea Market to walk to. And we're trying to rebuild this city, so we want people walking around. Chelsea Market gives them like kind of one-stop shopping. And again, if my client knew that the landlord was going to put another liquor store there, they would have probably found a way to stay instead of moving across the street. And I said, this is barely a football field length away, in counting the end zones. It's 385 feet. Furthermore, as we all know, population of Manhattan is not booming at this point. It's kind of staying stagnant, and their sales are decreasing. So we would ask that this application be denied. I've also, in my letter in opposition, raised some other points. I don't think I need to kind of beat a dead horse with that. So, but we're saying public use and convenience would not be served by putting a 9th off-premise liquor store in 1,500 feet if you drew a circle. Thank you.
Sorry, just a point of clarification. I'm confused. Was this Mr. Romano's client? Because we got a letter in opposition from Mr. Romano. You just said your letter in opposition. Was there a different letter that you put in? But on Friday. Okay, understood. Just wanted to get that clarified. All right, members. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to make 3 points. I'd like to tell you why this applicant is extremely well qualified and why her qualifications feed into the public convenience and advantage analysis. The second thing I'd like to do is talk about the synergy that her wine store will bring to the on-premises store that she has in Chelsea Market, which is another public convenience and advantage factor. And then third,
I'm sorry, can you just hold on a second? You're a wine store too, right?
Correct.
well, they have an L
And
license.
Only wine.
Wine and liquor, yeah, off-premise wine
But-
store.
Well,
Majority-
they have an L license.
Majority of your SKUs are wine, right?
Oh, like 90%.
Yes, 90%, yeah. I know.
Just to be clear, they have a liquor store license, and it's not, we're
Yeah, I
applying for
know,
wine
but she
only.
sells wine.
Well, 90% it sounds like, so. And the third point I'd like to make is talk about the convenience of a wine store in Chelsea Market, and in doing so address some of the points that you just heard. So first, Laura is an exceptionally well-qualified applicant. You hear that frequently, but she is particularly so much so that her qualifications alone are a factor that is appropriate for you to consider in public convenience and advantage. She is one of 33 female master sommeliers in the entire world. She was the youngest woman to obtain that title when she first obtained it. She opened Cork Buzz Wine Studio, her first on-premises location, in 2011, and since then has made a well-recognized name for herself in the wine world. She has a ton of accolades from the Wall Street Journal, Food and Wine, Business Insider. She's been listed on lists of important people in the wine world. She is a wine consultant and consults with a variety of businesses and people on wine. So you know, there are people who know wine, and then there are people who know wine, and Laura is in the latter category. Point number 2 is the synergy with her on-premises location. So she has 2 on-premises licenses. Her first one, but her second one is in Chelsea Market, and it's been in Chelsea Market since 2014.
The first one is where?
Where's your first one?
Union Square,
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
13 East 13.
Yeah. Her on-premises businesses are wine bars, where she brings to bear all of her skills and knowledge and puts forth a very interesting, bespoke, unique, well-crafted wine list. Commissioner De Leon, I'm sure you know this already. You know, on-premises licensees may not sell full bottles of wine for off-premises consumption, and one of the challenges that extremely well-regarded wine bars have, and it's a unique challenge. Not every liquor store, pardon me, not every bar or restaurant in the state has this issue, but for the ones that are helmed by someone like Laura, they have a challenge where their customers are constantly asking for them if they could buy bottles of wine from them off their list to take home with them for off-premises consumption, and they're constantly having to say no. In these rare occasions where you've had applications before you for a wine-only license, where there is a close proximity to the principal's existing on-premises license, and there is a synergy between the products that are offered, that synergy has been found by this board to be its own public convenience and advantage factor. Of course, no one factor is determinative, but that is a key factor here. Steps away from her wine bar will be her wine store, where she can direct customers to buy bottles of wine for them to take home. That is convenient. That is something that's special and unique. Lastly, the convenience of a wine store in Chelsea Market itself. Chelsea Market is a major destination. And you also have precedent in on this board for recognizing, in so many words, that major destinations are often, qualified in and of themselves to have a wine store. Even if there may be other off-premises licenses in proximity to the destination. We're talking about places like Penn Station, the mall at Hudson Yards, which is an application I handled. Others that are similar, large destinations, Moynihan Train Hall, Freedom Wine Cellars in the Fulton Station, where the recognition is that there is a certain very large population of people who are going directly to that location, and they're not stopping elsewhere. They're not stopping a block and a half or somewhere else. They're going there. Now, I was just at Chelsea Market the other day in preparing for this case, and I was reminded of what a destination it is, not just for tourists, and there are people from around the world there, but for New Yorkers. It's a local destination. I think Chelsea Market, being a lifelong New Yorker, is one of the few places in New York City where regular New Yorkers are excited to go to. That is also clearly a tourist destination. You have people from all over the city who go to Chelsea Market, and what they do there is they go there with their wallets open to shop for things. They stop at all of the different stores. They just shop. You go from store to store and enter each store, and you shop at the various stores, and then you leave. You get on the subway, or you get in your taxi, or you get in your car and you go home. So the fact that this is in Chelsea Market, I think is distinguishable. You've heard that, it's just 300 something feet away, but it's not in Chelsea Market. The last point I'd like to make is just responding to some of the comments you just heard from the opposition. First of all, I think just to say politely, I don't find, and with respect, I don't find it credible to say that this individual did not know that the owners of Chelsea Market were not interested in having a wine store in Chelsea Market. That's how this individual got their lease, and I think the reason that the lease that this individual and this business in opposition is not still there is not because the owners of Chelsea Market said we don't want to have a wine store in our market anymore. So I think the move was done with full knowledge that this day would come, and that had to have been factored into the business plan. This person, the business in opposition clearly has a local following because they've gone across the street. They felt that they could do that. I suspect that there is no real major overlap in their customer base. I think the people who live in that area, who know that store, will go to that store. I think the people who live in New York City outside of that area and the tourists who go to Chelsea Market are really not going to that store. When I was just there, when you stand outside of Chelsea Market, if you know to look for that store, you could look diagonally, it's one block and diagonal, so you could see it, but you don't know it's there otherwise. This is not something that's just sort of on the way or right out next to Chelsea Market. So I dispute the proposition that customers of people who are going to Chelsea Market as a destination are sort of the natural customers of this store moving forward. And I don't think this board should basically be insulating this store from a decision that they made to move.
I have a couple of questions, Mr. Booker.
Please.
First of all, you make very compelling arguments on behalf of your client. The client is clearly qualified. I understand that. The statements that you make about Chelsea Market, its uniqueness, its neighborhood, but it also has a large tourist component to it. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't know if you hear when I say it. How I do the gross sales computation. I take the 2019 figures, I discount the COVID years, because I understand that they're an anomaly. And then I look at 2023. And if I have 5 months stated for 2023, the figure that I have there, I divide it by 5 and then multiply it by 12. I understand this is not a perfect science, but we have to use some kind of measures. When I use that measure, I see that the sales for Chelsea are down. The sales for Mahadev significantly down. The sales for Manly's significantly down. The only one that I see making a very slight increase in sales is Little West. So, despite everything that you've said, it doesn't appear like there's a greater demand in that location. And if you could speak on that for a little bit.
Sure.
I'm happy to hear you.
I'd be happy to. So I think I would make 2 points in response, Commissioner. First is sometimes gross sales are an indicator of demand. Sometimes there are other factors at play that explain gross sales. I think one thing that would be appropriate for you to know or to ask the answer of the opposition is my client and I have attempted to visit the opposition store for the last 2 weeks and have found that it's been closed at hours where it says it's posted to be open. So I don't know what's going on with that store. But it has been, the lights are on, there's inventory in there, but the door is locked. And you call and it rings and no one answers. So I don't know if they're just doing delivery only or what, but I would hope they would have an opportunity to answer that. But speaking more broadly, I would say first, well, actually, before I speak more broadly, one other specific response is, you talk about Mahadev. I mean, I have what I have from the authority in front of me. Mahadev, you don't have, unless we're looking at different things, you don't have gross sales for Mahadev in 23 past February of 23. So I don't. You say you need at least 5 months for the year that we're in. So I don't know what to say.
I need 5 months. I take whatever.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I take whatever information I have.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't know if there's much to be gleaned from the gross sales for 23 for Mahadev. And for the other stores, I mean, and still on Mahadev, what you do see is between 21, 3.8, 22, 3.85, so it's not going down.
Well, again, those are COVID years that it's my understanding we normally discount because it was an anomaly.
Well, I think the COVID years, from my experience, the liquor stores, you would typically see a bump. We called it the COVID, bump for liquor stores. And so I think it's fair to discount, but I think that fairness needs to go both ways. In other words, you can't say that sales the next year went down, right? Because it was less than what happened during COVID, because naturally there was an anomalous bump. So COVID.
I can understand that your client already being in the location would want this location for the reasons you mentioned, synergy.
Sorry, if I could just make one more point then, which is that, I agree that this is not an exact science, and looking at the gross sales is certainly one relevant factor to consider in your analysis, but it is not the sole factor. And I think that another indicator of demand when you have these destination locations is the fact of its destination. There is clearly a demand for business in Chelsea Market. I was just there the other day, there's other than this store and one others, there's like no vacancies in Chelsea Market. So there's clearly a significant amount of foot traffic in Chelsea Market, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of visitors each year. And so in those cases, what I would submit to you is that is somewhat of an insulated, anomalous bubble that is really the demand of the local neighbors who live outside the vicinity of that anomalous area is really not quite relevant, because what someone who lives a few blocks away, demands for liquor is not really, the same as what a tourist's demand was, or for someone who lived elsewhere in the city who came to Chelsea Market. There are people who are going to Chelsea Market. They're not just walking around, outside of Chelsea Market.
Thank you, Mr. Bookman. Opposition wanted to come.
Sure, first I'd like everybody to know we never attack the applicant's qualifications as a sommelier. I'm sure she's well qualified. First, to deal with why the store wasn't open, their air conditioning unit for the building literally exploded. They had no AC until the landlord replaced it. That's why the stores were closed in the building. So that's why when Mr. Bookman went there, couldn't get in because there was no AC, and can't have a store operating in the city of New York without AC. Second, another, I think, misstatement or maybe confusion is actually my client's store is directly across the street from the entrance to Chelsea Market, not down a block and over. That's one of the other stores is down the block and over. This is directly across the street. So anybody who's going to Chelsea Market as a destination, my client's right there. And if they were to have a bottle of wine, because for 25 years my client was in that location, she was there from 2011. I'm sure they left her store and went to my liquor store, my client's store, to purchase that bottle of wine. So that synergy, I don't believe, would change. They just now walk out across 9th Avenue. So I don't know if you have any other questions.
You sometimes look things up on Google Street View. I would encourage you to look up the address here. It is not directly across the street from the entrance of Chelsea Market. It is one block up, and you have to walk across the street. It's not directly across the street.
Thank you both for your presentation.
Thank you.
I'm ready to vote.
Members ready to vote? Okay. Chair?
Again, I find the applicant extremely qualified. I get the argument about the synergy. The numbers, despite all the arguments that you make, Mr. Bookman, just don't seem to justify that location. And I'm seeing significant, when I look at Matt Devon, I'm going from 3.3 million down to 1.5. And when I look at Manly's, I'm looking at 3.1 down to 1.7 million. These are significant decreases.
I mean, they haven't opposed us. I mean, if they felt that way, they would be here.
There is opposition.
There is
Well,
opposition.
well, we have this, and there was one other store that basically said, we're close to Chelsea Wine Vault.
We got it.
So in light of those dramatic numbers, respectfully, I'm gonna have to deny the application.
And Chair.
I'm gonna vote to deny as well. It's just too close. You have to find a different location. I'm in support of you having a store, just, it's hard, you can't argue both sides, because who's coming to buy the one bottle? You know, is it local people or is it tourists? Like, that's not clear, and she's really a wine store, so.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, members.
Next is 1161 Tony's Tacos FS LLC. Go ahead and introduce yourselves.
Good morning. My name is Patrick DeLuca. I'm the representative for Tony's Tacos. We have one of the
Are you okay with this?
principals
What are
here.
your hours?
10 to 10.
10 p.m. you're gonna close, recorded music only?
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna vote to approve. I'm gonna give you until 11 p.m. across the board, recorded background music only.
I also vote to approve.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I told you.
Next is 1163 Premier Liquors LLC.
I'm good, Robert. I'm good. We're good. Thank you. Thank you.
Applicant?
I know.
Are you the applicant or the?
No, I'm opposition.
All right. Well, first, usually we have applicant introduce themselves, and then
okay.
we'll go on to
Yeah, go ahead.
opposition. Yeah.
Go ahead. Mr. DeLuca,
Yeah. Go ahead.
what's up?
My name is Patrick DeLuca. I'm here to represent Premier Liquors on this application. I'm here with Mr. Inhouse and to answer any questions that you have.
All right. And then we do have opposition. So, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Manpreet Parmar. I'm representing my father, Kabir Parmar's Liquor Store, Parmar's Liquor and Wine, which I manage full-time as of June 2020. We're opposing Premier Liquors. Out of the 4 closest stores, according to correspondence I received from the board, I'm representing the store smallest in size, 1.08 miles away from the applicant, and the store with the lowest sales numbers. My father, my mother, and I are the only employees. Before COVID in 2019, my father's store was at less than $300,000 in yearly sales and at a significant loss. He was actively trying to sell the business. My involvement in the business weighed heavily on trying to maintain sales numbers and keeping my elderly parents home through the pandemic. Our sales increased in 2020 and 2021 and then decreased in 2022. Currently in 2023, our sales are down approximately $62,000 a quarter from 2022. That comes to a $250,000 a year and a projected 25% overall sales decrease per year. So we're closer to pre-COVID sales, and that's also taking into consideration inflation and the monthly cost increase from our distributors. Our store has approximately 700 square feet of retail space and a bathroom. There's no storage. I applied for and received a warehouse storage license in 2021. I pay monthly for that. In 16 years of business, there's never been a single violation pertaining to my father's store. Additionally, there was also a new licensed liquor store open in our community, Neighborhood Liquors, in August of 2020. That brings the number of stores in our direct suburban community to 7. The proposed store is south of Montauk Highway and east of William Floyd. We have 4 active liquor stores in the same vicinity, and 3 of them are the closest stores to the applicant, all under a 2-mile radius. If you open up that radius by another mile north and west, there are 4 additional liquor stores, 2 opening within the past year and 1 this past summer. New stores open and our sales continue to decline. Based on the numbers I have from the state in reference to the 4 closest stores, our store included, all decreased in sales and all are projected to end with a decrease this year. I don't foresee the sales numbers ever being like what they were like during COVID. I'm certain that a new liquor store would only further decrease sales for all neighboring stores that have all served the community for decades. The applicant's business is also larger than the 3 closest stores. Now, I was also born and raised in this community. There's a few things I would like to mention. I don't know if you're familiar with the Mastic Beach community. It's a community that's riddled with crime, drug abuse, low-income housing, and an overlooked mental health crisis. So according to New York State government's criminal justice crime statistics website, the total violent crimes in 2021 increased by 89.5% within the 7th precinct specifically. The 7th precinct is located within our town and serves it. According to research done by University of California, violent crimes are significantly higher in neighborhoods that have a higher density of liquor stores. There was a well-known community member murdered execution style at a town bar 5 months ago, less than 2 miles away from the applicant's location. A few other headlines within these past 6 months that took place directly in our community, one on the same road as the applicant include, but aren't limited to, 2 teenage boys injured in a shooting in Mastic Beach. Mastic man gets 13 years for incomprehensible shooting. Man found with gunshot wound dies after car crash in Shirley. Man slain in stabbing in Shirley Motel. Man slashed in face in Mastic Beach. Man beats girlfriend to death in Shirley. Woman strikes teen with car in Mastic Beach. Shots fired into Shirley home. LI gangsters in Shirley indicted on murder and racketeering charges. 10 years for Mastic man and string
All
of
right, I
stomach.
think we get the point. Thanks.
No problem. According to Census Reporter, the average poverty rate of Mastic Beach is 18.8%. That's 1.4 times the rate in New York and 2.9 the rate of Suffolk County. Finally, the store proposal is also something that's been acknowledged by the school district's board since it's on the same main road, our town councilman, and the local community meetings. I don't see a public convenience or advantage with the opening of another liquor store, but I do see an adverse impact on the current small surrounding businesses that already struggle in a tough industry and have all opted to protest in our community and our children. That's it. I thank you, and I ask the board to consider voting now.
Thank you.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
I'm presenting Southport Wine Liquor. Yeah, like she said, since 2020, we got 3 brand new liquor stores in our area. And just one more thing, we compare the sales before COVID, not even COVID, before COVID, our sales is going down almost 10%. So that means so many liquor in the area already. And I saw the transaction number is going down a lot since 2 years ago.
Sir, did you provide figures for 2019? Because I didn't see any gross sales figures for 2019.
Because it's new ownership since 2021.
Okay.
That's it.
So how do you know sales are down from 2019 to?
I was asking the previous owner, so they told me, That's it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I almost touched the microphone. Okay. When we first filed this application, we looked it up and there was no stores within a mile, which is what led us to at least entertain the possibility of filing the application. One of the main things we liked about the location was that it's in the shopping center with a supermarket. It's not, Handy Pantry is not like a 7-Eleven. It's really like a small Gristedes type of market with, you know, all the groceries, meat department, the whole thing. And they're actually the landlord, and they encourage the liquor store. They openly look for someone to open a liquor store in their shopping center. The location was the basis. There are only one other liquor store in Mastic Beach. And my client is a resident, lifelong resident of Mastic Beach, and he felt strongly about this application. And I'm sure he can answer the questions better than me as to why he felt he wanted to go forward with this project.
This is an application for currently 5 schools in the area proposed.
I can't hear you, sir.
I have indication that there are 5 schools in the immediate area or close to this proposed site that are in opposition to another store being placed there. In part for some of the reasons that you heard mentioned by the opposition. Can you address that?
I fully expect, why wouldn't they object? You know, it's to their advantage to object. So that, to me, is not really a surprise. But the basis,
Object?
we have 4 objections from liquor stores and 2 objections from people that just, I assume, live in the neighborhood, although I can't really tell you for sure. We also
Can I
submitted,
just clarify that? I have a teacher letter, but I don't have the schools.
This is 163?
Is that?
which one of them?
I have a
lives in
letter from a
Jersey?
teacher, Donald.
Yeah, it's a letter
One
from
of the
teacher.
opposition letters is from a lady from New Jersey.
She's an old resident.
And then I have,
We have the schools identified on page 3 of the original, not the supplemental.
a protest letter.
In addition to that, I think it's Crest. Went from 1.2
a
in
couple of
2019
employees,
to
and there's another
820,000.
I'm sorry.
So there's a decrease there. Hera Mystic, from 720,000 down to 700,000, also a decrease there. And we don't have any figures for Southport. But out of the 3 that we did get response to, 2 show that gross sales are projected to be down in 2023, not up.
And the original packet, there is another letter from,
Right, so I have 2 letters from community members. One claims to be a teacher, and then I have 4 protest letters from surrounding stores. But I
And
do
there's
not
a-
have
another-
protests from the actual schools.
not from the actual schools, just
Okay,
from people
just
that
to
have worked.
clarify.
I know I read
Okay.
it somewhere. I can't find it right now, but I did read it. I'll keep looking while
Yeah.
we address this.
We have 6 letters, 4 from the stores and 2 from
From community
residents.
members, one is a teacher.
And one says, and another one says she's an employee, a 24-year employee of the school district. She says that the proposed premises is within walking distance of a middle school and a high school.
I see.
Then in the supplementals, there's one from a teacher.
Right, very, very close, but nothing is within 200 foot.
No, we always check that on lamps.
Yep, it's 0.7, 0.8, 0.8, 0.8. Okay.
Any further questions or anything?
No, I don't have any further.
members ready to vote?
Yeah. I'm gonna find public convenience advantage. The closest store is 1 mile away. There's a cluster of them a mile away, but this is in a new shopping center with a different type of grocery. So I'm gonna find public convenience advantage and vote to approve.
And Commissioner De Leon.
One second. I can't find where I read that right now, but I did read that there were 5 schools that opposed, but none within 200 feet of the location. But I don't see that the sales justify the new store.
The thing, oh, I'm sorry.
And also, the opposition and the points raised by the opposition, I think are compelling for me. So I'm going to vote to deny.
Fortunately, the application's denied with a split vote.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Next is 1167, Vinology, Wines and Liquors, LLC.
Good morning. Francis Buscemi, Mailer and Buscemi for the applicant. With me today are the the one principal of the applicant and his wife, Roman. This is a bit of a tongue twister for me. So, Babadzanova and Lana Bedels. This is a store located at 4122 Junction Boulevard in Corona. It's a 2,080 square foot store with 787 square feet of retail space. The store, half the store is the basement, and then there's other storage and office areas on the first floor. So the actual retail sales area is limited to 787 square feet. The 2 people with me today will be managing the business on a full-time basis. I want to point out that this location had been licensed since 1981, I believe it is, for 42 years, until it was licensed as Panem Liquor. The principal of Panem died, and the store was vacated. The principal of the applicant here today, Roman, he is the building owner, and shortly after, the death was around August of 2022. By, I believe it was October of 2022, I think we had the application prepared, and I think the filing receipt on the application is dated November of 2022. So we got in soon after the store was vacated. And as I said, it's been a store, this store was located there for over 4 decades. It's actually, other than Corona Liquors, which was licensed
I'm sorry, can I just clarify, was the store actually vacated or you had it declared abandoned?
Well, it was abandoned. It was abandoned. The principal died.
Right, but you went and had it declared abandoned, right? And that was more recent, right?
Yeah, I wasn't involved in that specifically. But I think as a technical legal point, you want to.
So someone else was in charge of that? And what was that date?
I don't know. What?
Who was in charge of the store?
The abandonment? You had someone do the abandonment? The abandonment? The lawyer did the abandonment?
No.
Who?
No.
The abandonment proceeding? Was there an abandonment proceeding in court?
No.
No? He's saying there was no abandonment proceeding in court.
Right, but did the other liquor store is still active? Is that what's happening?
I'm sorry?
The other liquor store is still active or not active?
Which other liquor store?
The one that exists there before, the tenant who passed.
No, this is the same location.
Yeah, I
The
know.
principal died.
Okay,
and
what
the-
happened with that license?
Oh, I think I probably put in a letter explaining that the store had been abandoned and to declare the license in default. So that license, if it wasn't, I doubt it was surrendered. I think the license was just put in default by the liquor authority for purposes of our
Okay, you
application.
just told me you didn't handle that, but so who handled that?
No, that part I did. I thought you were talking about the physical store, Chairperson.
So what happened with the
As
physical?
part of our application, I notified the liquor authority that the store is no longer, that the stores had been vacated, and if the license had not been surrendered, which I believe it wasn't, the licensee died, that they should have an abandonment proceeding at the liquor authority. So that's the extent of what I did. I just notified the liquor authority, then licensing takes the normal steps.
Okay, so is the store vacated as of right now?
Oh, the store's been vacated since August
Okay,
of
so
2022.
who vacated it?
The principal died, the family member came in, cleaned it out, and that was that.
I'm just wondering, so the family members were aware that the principal died and they vacated the store, but they didn't give us the license? Like they didn't come and claim the store?
I can't tell you what some, was it a nephew?
Nephew.
With some nephew. I don't think she had children, the landlord. It was a nephew, and that was that. Nephew or grandson? Huh.
What happened to
I
the
don't know.
inventory?
What happened to the inventory?
No.
They just vacated the store and took whatever was there.
All right, let us go take a look.
Yeah, sure.
Come back again, October 25th.
Okay.
We're gonna hold it over. Commissioner, you okay with that?
I'm fine.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I notify the liquor authority, then the liquor authority licensing goes through a standard procedure
Okay.
for
I understand.
abandonment, okay? October 25?
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next is 1171 Roxio 33-34 LLC, DBA Radio Park.
Good morning, Ellen Gustafson from Greenberg Traurig, representative of the applicant. I'm joined by Zoe O'Day, Senior Director of the applicant. We received a negative 500-foot hearing from the ALJ in December of 2022, and we submitted supplemental information to the board to provide further clarity on both operations of the premise, as well as why granting licenses in the public interest. We're happy to answer any additional questions you may have at this time.
So this is a restaurant?
It's an amenity space for building, it's like an event amenity space for building tenants that is sometimes used as a catering event space.
Okay, so if you're not opened regularly to the public, that the OP is not the right category of license to apply for. You should apply probably for a catering license so that you can be open for private events only. Because as an OP, you have to be open to the public at all at all announced hours, and I don't think you qualify for that.
So office tenants can bring members of the public though to the space.
It's
That's
just
still-
by
okay.
definition not
Okay.
open to the public.
Understood.
So I'm not gonna find public interest. I'm gonna vote to deny.
I concur.
Okay, great. Thank you for your time.
Next is 1159 Cafe Estereo LLC.
Good morning. Joseph Levy here on behalf of Cafe Estereo LLC. My client is en route. I never thought I'd be up here before 11 o'clock. So, but I'm here. I'm happy to proceed without him here, or we can wait till he gets here if you'd like. It's totally up to you guys.
We'll wait.
Wait?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next is 1183 Exotic Lounge Inc.
Good morning. I'm Mariam Garcia, representing Static Lounge. I'm the general manager of the store.
But not the licensee.
No, I'm not. The licensee doesn't speak English, so he didn't want to. He always get like nervous to come. I always the one that comes with him. Yeah, we usually have an attorney, but because of the business being so bad lately, we can't afford one.
Ms. Taveras that asked for this to be held over.
Okay. Let me just look here. They asked to put this over, right? So that the licensee can come.
She just asked to put this over to look more, I guess, I don't know what she... Was Aurelia Taveras previously?
I'm sorry, what?
Aurelia Taveras, was that previously the representative? Taveras?
Aurelia, yeah, she's not.
Not anymore?
No,
But she was.
she was, yeah.
No, they're fine. 35. They're both.
And you understand why this is here? Pretty much? Like why you're here or why?
Yeah, we had an issue with the liquor license. So we did the whole procedure on the renewal. Like we used to do since 2017, that's when we first got the license. So we started selling alcohol again because we thought the license was already active. So we have a confusion. So the police came in and like we got summons, but we said that we had the liquor license active because we sent everything. We went through the whole process like what we used to do. I don't know why it was the delay. And when we check online, the liquor license was active. And then the prison came and they told, no, your license is not active.
No, I understand what happened here.
So-
I see why she pulled. I understand. I'm trying to read between the lines and why Taveras asked for this to be put aside. I think what she's trying to say is that they already paid a renewal and that the improper conduct and the sale, the charge one and charge two are essentially a repeat of what they had already paid for the late renewal. And that in theory, it should just be the licensed security guard. So I'm gonna lower this to 1,500.
Commissioner?
I will go with 1,500.
All right, so y'all, a letter will be sent in the mail with the,
Okay,
with the civil
and like,
penalty.
what's the time for us like to pay the fee?
I think it's 15 days.
Well, no, it's more. It'll explain in the letter. Like,
Yeah.
What about if we can extend the date just in case if we can do it in 15 days? Just in
Well, you're
case.
going from 35 to 15, so you should have funds to pay it, but the letter will tell you when you can pay it.
The letter will tell you.
Thank you so much. Have a good
Yeah,
morning.
thanks for coming in.
Next is 1166 RONG CHEN Liquors Inc.
Morning, member. My name is Sam Park, representing Long Chen Liquor. The owner applicant, Mr. Wang, is next to me. We are requesting for alternation for extended space. Currently, total space is 2,370 square feet. Retail is 1,488 square feet. And the next door we extended is the total space is 1,583 square feet. And then we'll make a retail space is 1,000. Okay.
Look, you're essentially adding another store,
Yes.
but I also see no protest, so since you've owned the store
Since 2013, 10 years.
since 2013, it's been 10 years, and you have somewhat of a clean record, I'm gonna vote to approve.
Commissioner?
Yeah, we got no response from two of the stores, I think, that we requested sales from. The one that we did get, Rocky Point, indicates a growth in sales. So I'm going to approve also.
Thank you, member.
Thank you.
Next is 1158 El Gente Restauranten, Patio and Lounge LLC. Sorry.
Sorry, what number?
It's 1158.
Good morning, Timothy Allen for the licensee.
Okay.
It's a request for reconsideration.
Go ahead.
So I had been away the week before the full board, and I'm asking for reconsideration because we missed the calendar date. And so my client has been suspended or canceled for the last 2 months. On the charges itself.
Were you the one who did the trial?
Yes.
Okay.
So on the charges themselves, as you know, 3 through 6 with the specific disorderly premises were dismissed. Also 5 was the resale, was the unauthorized source of alcohol. He provided receipts for that. I think the inspector had seen boxes with labels removed from the box, but he had the receipts. I believe it was Hennessy. And the failure to permit the inspection. There was a delay of maybe 10 minutes because the door had a password code on it that wasn't immediately entered, but then about 10 minutes later, they were able to gain entry. The incidents, the 9 was dismissed, 10 through 13 or 10 through 12 on January 21. Those items were all, we provided mitigation and photographs of fixes that were done at that time. The incident for April 26th was a Tuesday night where my client was told that there was a birthday party that was going to take place. It turned out to be an anniversary for, I believe, the Bloods gang nationwide, which was he was totally unaware of. And when they found out, after a few hours, I think by 9 or 10 o'clock, they tried to shut the party down. And that's why when the police went by, there were, I think they said there were 100 people on the sidewalk. So obviously this is, an unfortunate event that, when they found out what was going on, they tried to stop it as best they could. And while there were some incidents that occurred that night, they weren't at the premises or even right in front. They were in the neighborhood around the establishment, but not even right in front. Since then, it's more than a year. There haven't been any incidents at the premises. He's invested basically his life savings in this establishment. He's there every day. He was away for 3 weeks when that happened on April 26th. He had gone home to the Dominican Republic. But again, nothing has happened since April of 2022. He's taken, all the steps he could to correct this, and he hasn't had the license now for 2 months.
It's not just the incidents regarding the Bloods gang, which were reported to be 6 firearms found, fightings and stabbings, numerous noise complaints.
But not at the premises.
Yeah, I understand. But there's the safety concerns. There is the blocked exits, the hookah, the extinguishers, fire extinguishers that haven't been inspected, a gasoline can in the vicinity of exposed wires. That is really, really dangerous stuff.
So he corrected that. I think that the gasoline can has to be chained down, and he corrected it. It wasn't chained down, so he chained it.
For the water pressure machine to wash the backyard, it wasn't inside the premises. It was in the
The investigator had a body camera and took still photos of the location to document the
But
situation.
he corrected all those things right at the time of the hearing, and the judge noted that in the decision that he provided mitigation on all those things from the inspection. I would ask that you consider a fine in this situation.
On the request for reconsideration, are you ready to vote?
I would grant reconsideration.
Yeah, I'll grant reconsideration.
Do you have any other questions, or do you want to vote on the penalty, I believe?
He's had a license for 5 years now.
I mean, we've already done this, though. I mean, you had COVID charges and we already changed your hours. You're supposed to be living by 11 o'clock close. I don't get a sense that that was ever changed. So,
Or was that changed through the alternative process? Was that ever changed? Or do you still have 11 p.m. closing?
That was during COVID, though.
Yeah, during COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
There is
What time are you closing now?
the alternative system set up where they could change that back.
Says, I think that was just during COVID.
not the ones where it was disciplinary. I mean, he already had an
He says he's
11
closing
o'clock
at 12 now.
No, but what I'm saying is that there's no point putting conditions on it because he already had the conditions and he violated them.
But I think that was
You see, the
specifically for
problem
COVID.
is that
And he
you
has a
continue to find problems and then you continue to plead not guilty and then we don't get a sense that things are going to change.
I mean, he has a full restaurant there, and I've seen pictures. It's completely renovated. He also has an upstairs space where he's trying to change the C of O. You know, maybe he could just limit it to the downstairs. And would you be willing to do that? Let's throw the upstairs or something. She's saying it looks like you haven't changed that. So you're gonna have to tell her something.
Okay, but I changed.
It was changed back.
It was changed.
You know, for the safety, yeah.
2021.
What are you doing about the large crowd?
No
noise?
closing.
Okay,
You've
the
got to
crowd,
talk
we
to
changed- we
He
changed the
changed
crowd.
it back to mid to like 4 a.m. basically.
Basically, I guess he had no restrictions prior.
Oh, he had no restrictions. So he came and asked to lift it.
There was a process.
There was a process
set
to
up
lift it.
with all
I
the
see.
COVID things.
What are you doing? Why don't you address them, what you're doing about the noise and the large crowds?
Put a new license certificate.
He'd like to address you.
You want to say something, sir? Go ahead.
Yes, one of the main things that I have problem with, it was with the crowd that I had, which is that crowd is not there anymore because of the promoters that they were bringing those crowd in, but that's it's been fixed, ready for
Are you
the
using
end.
promoters anymore?
Huh?
Are you using promoters?
Yeah, but not that type of those type of people no more. I don't deal with those people anymore.
What type of promoters are you talking?
Like hip hop stuff. We don't do that anymore. Now it's just Spanish people that is coming to the restaurant, which is they come and they go people anymore. I don't have no more crowd, which is caused me problem like they used to. It used to be on Fridays. Friday I used to have hip hop parties and I have to turn that off. It's not that anymore.
Anything else you want to tell them? We're on a thin line here. I'd ask you to give him a last chance on this, if you consider it like that.
I'm going to. I don't know if he's going to agree with me, but I'm going to change the penalty to a suspension to up until today, a $20,000 penalty. And I'm going to set your hours to midnight across the board. No promoters. It doesn't matter if it's hip hop. I'm not condoning the no hip hop. I don't, it's no promoters altogether. I'm gonna ask you to have security guard and managers as needed. One last chance.
I'm sorry, you said security guard and managers?
As needed. I mean,
Okay.
I usually don't, we usually don't require it because of
Right.
advisories we've written before, but in this scenario, just, it's dangerous. I just want you to be protected.
So they should, so we require them to have a manager and security, but it's up to them
Yes.
on the amount of
Yes.
security and managers.
Yes.
But you will need a manager and security.
Well, he's there every day.
Yeah, and security
So
is always
he
there on
can-
the weekends.
Obviously,
He can list himself as
If
manager?
not
security,
working,
so you're saying security is always there anyway, right?
Yeah.
But what about a manager, if he's there all the time?
a manager
Like a
and security
Okay,
at all times.
all right.
I'm gonna
licensed security.
Yep.
I'm gonna concur with the chair with the conditions that were stated on the record.
And
20,000.
midnight until you come back.
Oh, midnight.
Do not go past midnight. We will check.
And that was 20,000 for the
20,000. And time served as far as the suspension.
You'll get a new license certificate in the mail with those stipulations.
Okay, thank you.
We really want to be supportive, but please,
Right.
just, you know, it's only because he was actually really good at the trial that we're doing this. Okay? So
Thank you.
thank him.
Have a good day. Next is 1162, Privilege Restaurant and Lounge, Inc. Oh.
What?
No, yeah, 1159, Cafe Estereo, LLC. They're saying. they're
Okay,
here
yeah,
now.
that's fine.
Yeah, they're saying they're here now.
The community board said no.
Community board said no, ALJ said yes. I have with me my client, Kevin Heisner, one of the principals of Heisler Hospitality.
What's the community board's problem? It's just saturation, right? There
So
was
they
no
had,
specific problem.
yeah, they had two issues. One was very general, which was the prevailing issue is that, hey, the space has never had a license before. We don't want any more licenses in our neighborhood. And the second was they were concerned about noise. We refined the music, we toned down the music. We're going to we fully enclosed the outdoor space, which is small to begin with, no music outdoors, closing all doors and windows at 11. So that seemed to take care of that issue.
What time do you close?
2 a.m. across the board inside, closing the outside space, the doors and windows at 11. And Kevin and his group have a hospitality company. They have many locations throughout Chicago, including this concept specifically, have been operating for years. No complaints, no violations, no issues. Background music here, food and drink here, Latin and Caribbean inspired flavors and music, and again, background music. We have lots of support from the neighborhood. This was one of those things where it just didn't really make sense to us that we couldn't get approval here. It was just, we don't want another liquor license in our community and not in a space that hasn't had one previously. And the ALJ actually ruled that we did meet our burden.
The community board indicated opposition but did not submit any materials. That was
Correct.
noted by the ALJ. You had 89 petition signatures, 7 letters of support. You dealt with the sound issue also.
Correct, and this gentleman lives in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
All right.
I would approve it.
You want to vote first?
Yeah, I vote for approval.
Thank you.
And Chair?
All right, I vote to approve recorded background music only. No live, no jukebox, no karaoke, no dancing, no third-party promoters. 20 private events a year, 11 p.m. outside. We'll install soundproofing, 2 a.m. inside. And closing outdoor space.
You're okay with that, Commissioner?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
No music outside.
Yep, no music outside. Thank
All
you
right,
very
thank
much.
Thank
Have a great day.
Thank you.
All right, so now it's 1162,
All right.
Privilege Restaurant and Lounge, Inc.
San Park representative, Privilege Restaurant Lounge. The owner applicant is Patsy is right next to me. We're requesting for a change to our method of operation. Currently, we are open from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. 7 day a week, and then we would like to request to extend the hour for closing time 4 a.m.
Okay. Are you okay with it?
Yeah.
Why do you want to open until 4 a.m.? You're a licensee?
Yes,
Why do you want 4 a.m.?
because it will increase my revenue and it's like I get 4 a.m. but it's not like I'm gonna close every night at 4 a.m.
Okay, just, you know, when you start operating during those 5 hours, it's going to be a different business that you're running.
I have a my place is very small and it's like a lot of Caribbean people.
Okay.
And they eat a lot, so it's less drinking, but you know.
Okay,
And
I
I
mean-
stay out of trouble.
Okay, we're gonna support you, but if you see a change in the, the crowd and the behavior, then you bring in a security guard if you need to, okay?
Yes.
To protect yourself,
Yes, thank you.
okay? All right. I'm gonna vote to approve.
Commissioner?
I also vote to approve.
Thank you, member. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Next is 1165, Savvy Bistro and Bar, Inc.
Hi, good morning. I think that's 710 Nostrand, Savvy Bistro and Bar Inc.
You just want 1 extra hour and music, right?
Correct.
Are you okay with it?
I'm fine.
Okay, with no complaints on file, I'm going to vote to approve adding DJ, adding karaoke, adding live bands. Hours will extend from Monday to Wednesday from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., Thursday to Saturday from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. That's it. And a frozen drink machine is okay.
Yeah, just we weren't sure if, since it's liquor, if there's anything, we just want to disclose every single thing that we're doing in terms of changes.
Commissioner?
Good. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with those conditions.
You've been approved.
Awesome, appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have a good
Thanks
day.
for coming in.
Next is 1154, Blue Seafood Restaurant and Bar, LLC. I have
Hey,
my
Shannon,
stuff maxed out.
1167, can we send somebody to just
Not
go
wrong.
look at the condition of the current store and see what's there?
Mr. Allenwick signed in for that. Is he gone?
That's the liquor store.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Is it moving fast? I just noticed this on the
What
calendar.
number?
Sorry.
1154.
Yeah, what about what?
This is a default that I just saw there, and I just did a CNC for another case for them. I went through my file. I didn't have
So
this.
you want this?
I just want to put it
I'm just
over.
gonna withdraw the default and
You want to return to council?
I'll return this to council's office.
Okay.
1154.
I think they confused it with that other case. It was July, at the end of July, and they
Yeah, you
paid
just have to make one
2,500.
CNC with it.
I will. Thank you.
1154.
And Commissioner, you're okay with that, right?
I am.
So return to CO.
So it was 1167 you were referencing.
Yeah, that Joe needs to go.
Next is 1155, Puebla Seafood, Inc.
Yep.
For this one, although the alteration application is not before you, the community board sent an email saying they're going to recommend approval.
Oh, so they did file it now.
I don't see it filed with us, but it
they
seems like
have-
they're with community board.
Oh, good.
Hi, good morning.
Oh, hi.
We actually wanted to see if we can wait for our lawyer. He's actually in the Queens Courthouse. He should be coming soon, shortly.
Who is it?
Gene Anton.
He's coming from Queens?
Yeah,
Is
he should be
on-
here shortly. I texted him right when we arrived that he was like 25 minutes away.
We'll wait, but we may not be here by the time he gets here.
You
But
can
we'll,
sit
we'll
till
wait.
the end. You can sit till the end.
We'll get through
Okay.
it.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
163.
Next is 1186, 1187, and 1188, Amigos Astoria, Inc.
Okay.
That's Mr. Flynn. I just saw him. There he is.
Apologies. Terrence Flynn on behalf of the licensee. He's on his way up the stairs now. Should we put this to a second call? I'm sorry.
All right, just moving too fast over here. Okay, go ahead.
Are you ready for?
The other one I'm
Chief
ready
Woodford?
for, yes.
Okay. That's 1174.
Terrence Flynn on behalf of the licensee. This is an offer of compromise to resolve the charges.
500, it's fine. Oh, except 500.
What number was this?
1174.
1174.
Trying to get out here before all our cell phones go off.
Yeah, I know. I had a note. And report before 2:20.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you very much. I'll let you know as soon as he gets up the stairs. Thank you.
And 1176, Casa or NYC. That's
1176.
1176, 13115 Jamaica Bar Corp.
Frank Malolo.
for the licensee. Appears to be a trend. My client is also on the way. I can do this now if you like, or we can wait for them to come, whichever you prefer.
They're coming for 1176?
Yes.
Okay, we'll wait.
Thank you.
So everyone's just waiting, right? That's left. No one is.
All right, so
here.
let's just get through it.
All right.
1148?
1148 and 1149 is an offer of 6,500.
I'm gonna counter at 10,000.
I concur.
1150 is an offer of, sorry, I don't know. So 1150 and 1151, I actually got a request to adjourn from the attorney. They're working on an alteration application.
Okay.
for
1025.
Yes, that's for 1150 and 1151.
1025.
All right. And Commissioner, you're okay with both of those, correct?
I am.
1152 is an offer of 7,500.
7,500.
Did we
There
get the
was two
corporate?
parts of this
Yeah.
one. He did last, there was two licenses, the same thing last time.
Right, did we get this? Maureen, did we get the request to change the corporation? We did? Okay, yeah, no, we got it, yeah. So, you said 75?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
1153 is an offer of 1,000.
I'm gonna lower this to letter of warning. Is that okay?
License principal arrested, were approved, none received as of yet.
Because they said no contest. It's a
Certificate of disposition is an unqualified misdemeanor?
Yeah, unclassified.
Unclassified misdemeanor.
DWI 1.17, and then the other one was dismissed. The DWI first charge,
Right,
first offense
and-
was dismissed.
Okay, and you want letter of warning?
Yeah, it's 21, and also it's been in existence since 76. So
I concur.
okay,
So letter of warning.
letter of warning.
1156 and 1179, that's an offer of 6,000. Counsel's office requested withdrawal charge 12 in the second proceeding.
All right, so I'm gonna withdraw charge 12. I'm gonna counter at 12,000.
Concur with 12,000.
Okay, so 12,000. 1157 is an offer of 7,500.
Selling liquor.
Yeah.
Where are you at?
Thought that.
Either bring me. Was the thought.
Where are you? Where are you feeling?
I was at 75, okay, but Shannon is saying either bring them in or C and B.
I think we should just bring them in and just ask if they're gonna stop, because it's like they endlessly are selling liquor, and they have a 200-foot issue, so we need to figure out how to fix that. All right, let's just bring them in. Donald, please.
All right, Commissioner, okay with that?
I concur.
1164 is an offer of 6,000.
This should be 65. Do you care?
That's fine.
I'm gonna counter at 65.
I agree with 65.
1168 is an offer of 3,500.
68?
Yeah, so
This is the one with me.
That works for me.
I'm countering at 10,000. Two
I con-
charges.
I concur with 10,000.
All right. 1169 is an offer of 6,000.
I'll accept 6,000.
69?
Yes.
6,000 is fine.
1170 is a new on-premises liquor application.
What?
So this one.
Should we just hold this over? Yeah, let's hold this over 1025, 1170.
And Commissioner, are you okay with that?
1025 is fine.
1172 is an offer of 6,000.
6,000, I'll accept.
Commissioner?
I'm sorry, Don, what number?
1172. It's an offer of 6,000.
1172, 6,000 is okay.
1173 is an offer of 5,000.
I could go higher on this one.
Yeah, I'm okay. 5,000 is okay. I'll take 5,000.
5,000's fine.
5,000's fine. All right. 1175 is an offer of $3,500.
I was gonna counter at 7,000.
7,000 is fine.
1177 and 1178 is an offer of 6,500.
6,500.
1177, 78. 6,500 is fine.
1180 is an offer of 3,500.
Just over and over and over again. Where are you at? 1180?
Let me see. Oh, yeah, not good.
I know. I know, you're... You want to bring them in?
If you want to hear the story, sure.
All right. 1025.
1025.
Bring them in, please.
Commissioner?
Yes, 1025.
1181 is a no contest default at pleading.
I don't know what this means. Where are you at? Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. We have an assault. This is where the security guard struck the patron with a baton.
You want to bring them in? I mean, it's a default.
I mean, it's a default.
Yeah,
This is 1181, right?
1181.
You want to put a fine on it, or you want to bring them in?
Want to bring them in and hear a story? I'm fine, but this is really egregious. Then he had the dog attack her. Basically, patron stabbed the security guard.
And it's a default, so...
So they might not come.
Yeah, I know.
Wanted to see him be. This is pretty egregious. 89 calls from January 2022 to March 2023.
They still have the opportunity to do, if we do bring them in, to plead no, not guilty.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah.
It's up to you. If you want to bring them in, or if you want to. They also have requests for reconsideration if they need to, if they wanted to.
Always willing to hear what they have to say if you want to do that.
I mean, you're giving them 3 extra weeks of business if you just go to bring them in and then they have an opportunity, but they did default, so. But if you cancel them, it's canceled, like literally, the sheriff is going to cancel them today.
I am fine with canceling. Want to talk about it? I'm happy to talk about it.
No, I don't need to. If you want to cancel them, I'm okay with it too. They defaulted.
You have someone here? What, do you know what item number? Okay.
I was going to say, is it them? Yeah.
That would have been. Because we're going through a lot.
So they have been in business since 2014.
Right. We got 9 years licensed. Yeah.
One adverse history event.
Let's just try to bring them in. How's that?
Okay.
Donald, make sure that they understand that
It's gonna be canceled.
the other option is they were very close to cancellation.
They'll cancel if they don't show up, pretty much. Commissioner, you okay with that?
I'm fine with that.
All right.
Next is 1182, offer of 5,000.
5,000.
Commissioner?
Okay, 5,000.
1184 is a no contest default at pleading.
Yeah, Shannon, did we have more information about this?
So the only information that.
Okay. I'm just gonna set the penalty at 2,500.
Okay, Commissioner?
So he failed to provide the certificate of disposition and did not report arrest. And do we know what the arrest was for? Is it a felony arrest?
What are they here for? What are they here for? They got lucky. Well, they would have been called soonish. Okay. 1190. Okay. Did you? Oh, I'm still looking. Sorry.
Yeah, we're trying to find out what he was arrested for. It was a misdemeanor arrest?
Correct, criminal contempt.
Okay, and Libby, you said what, 2? What did you say on this, 184?
So this is the one where he indicated.
I said 2,500.
But didn't give us the actual certificate of the AC.
Right, but the underlying arrest is a misdemeanor arrest.
Criminal contempt, Class A misdemeanor.
Okay, yeah, I'll go with 2,500.
Okay. So we did have some people come in at the last minute. That's for 1190.
Can we just finish this? Can we just finish what we're doing here? Let's just get through this.
So 1185, that's Saratoga Hospitality at Gaffney's LLC. They're asking for another adjournment.
Okay, that's
To
fine.
1025.
1025, okay.
1025 is fine.
1189 is an offer of letter of warning.
Letter of warning is fine.
89. That's fine.
Okay, all right, so these are licensing, let's just leave them. All right, thank you, Donald. Let's go to the,
All right. So for 1190, it's 151 DBS Inc. DBA Compton Ale House.
Good morning.
Good morning.
hey, Rosa, what's up?
Hi, not much. Rosa Ruiz, representative for 151. This is a change to the method of operation.
Community
The
board.
community board said no.
Yes.
What's
But-
up, why is that?
The community board said no, not because they had any objections with him
They want
and
the
no
whole
complaints.
block.
They just want the whole block to close at 2 o'clock.
2 a.m.
But he's been open and operating for over 9 years.
I walk by there, it's loud there.
Mm.
It's really, really loud there. I can't do it unless the community board says yes, because they usually just have no comment.
Yeah, but if you can also see the letter that I attached, it also shows that any issues with him whatsoever.
I know.
No violations, no anything. He's been open and operating for over 9 years.
I get it.
And then he also wants to add the live entertainment, which is still gonna be background, light, folk, folk music.
I get it,
I concur with the.
yeah, I can't. Community board says no, I have to, I really have to at some point respect the oversaturation issues that exist in our community, so.
No, I
have to
understand.
start somewhere.
But I mean, even if we can do just like the extra hour of 3. Again, he's been,
It's loud there.
Yep.
Been there at night, it really is loud there.
I understand, but it's not his place, like his music is
I'm
complete
gonna vote no,
background.
you can come back with a support letter,
So
and
no
you
for
can ask for
both.
reconsideration.
But what
Both the
about the live
time and the
entertainment?
DJ. No, for the entire application.
Well, the DJ he already had. The entertainment is the, how do you pronounce that? Where is he? The jelly dancing?
This says he only has recorded ambient background music.
Irish dancing.
Yes.
Irish dancing.
He has dancing?
And it's all
may
acoustic.
include-
And then a fiddle.
Yeah, with a fiddle. Properly soundproof.
Yes.
Is that what they're asking for? Or is that what they have now?
No, that's what he's asking for.
Community board said no, right?
Community board said no. They want all establishments on the block to close at 2 a.m.
But did they say anything about?
Just can't add more right now.
Okay. Commissioner?
I concur with the chair.
But what about the live entertainment?
They're-
Because it's,
yeah.
again, it's light. It's not,
Currently, the whole application is denied.
okay.
When have you ever heard not loud bagpipes? Like, it just doesn't.
Well, he's here. He can explain it to you.
I get it. I get it. Just not right now. I think that, no.
All right.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You can reframe your request and go to the community board, and if they support it, I'm supporting it.
Yeah,
Okay?
again, it wasn't anything with him.
I
It was-
appreciate it. I
Okay.
get it. No, I get it.
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you.
All right, so they're still waiting. So we're going to keep going. 1191 is HIGHBRIDGE Grocery Inc. It's a new temporary retail permit application.
You speaking up?
It's going to tell us all about Irish dancing.
Yeah. 1191.
Yes.
Are they coming up or not?
No,
coming
no
up?
one's here. Nope. There's
Oh, okay.
all that's.
All right,
they're
let's
still waiting.
just, where are you with this?
Want to hold it over?
Yeah,
Otherwise,
yeah. Let's hold it over. But why are we holding it over? Do you want to just vote no?
I was going to vote no.
Oh, okay, so then let's vote no.
So both of you, Mr. Chair?
We're gonna vote to deny. I'm voting to deny.
Okay.
So am I.
So another one is 1192 GRAGE LLC, DBA Goat Tribe Wine and Spirits. It's a new package store application.
Interesting that they did not show up. Yeah, I'm gonna find public convenience and advantage. The closest store is 5.1 miles away, then the next two are 6.8 miles. This is not a bulletproof store. I'm gonna find public convenience and advantage and vote to approve this liquor store in Manchester County.
Commissioner?
All the gross sales provided indicate a increase, all five stores, or projected increase for 2023, so I also vote to approve.
All right, well, I still see no changes to our audience out there, but I guess I can just call back up.
Okay.
1155 Puebla Seafood Inc. Have you heard anything?
Before I left, actually, I messaged him. He said he was finding parking.
Well, come back. If you want to come back up, how do you want to handle this? Oh, we got one right
No, we
there.
got one. All right, let's do that one.
All right, and that one is 1186, 87, and 88 Amigos Astoria Inc.
Okay.
Good morning again. Terrence Flynn on behalf of the licensee. I'm here with Christian Curiel, who's the principal. Last meeting, you asked us to outline the steps that we were going to take with regard to making sure there weren't any noise complaints and to address the noise complaints that were out there. We provided that information to you for your review, and we also brought in the principal per your request for any questions that you may have. I'd also point out that as part of the charges, we've corrected all the violations and sent you photos showing that the violations for the unchained gas canisters, et cetera, were all resolved and taken care of.
Thank you. Awesome. Thank you for your submission.
Yeah, I see a new security company, noise meters, limited switch on the sound system. We'll close all doors, communicate with the precinct for all large events.
Yes, that's correct.
And you said that 22% of all 311 calls were marked unfounded.
They were, yes. It's right on the submission within the bill of particulars.
Okay. Awesome, thank you. Even though these are 3 different days, and since you're a young licensee, I'm going to take the penalty down to 20,000. Thank you for coming.
Commissioner?
I concur with 20,000.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your
Thanks for
patience and
coming.
waiting for us. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
And Mr. Pilillo, do you hear anything for 1176, 13115 Jamaica Bar Corp?
I was told his ETA is 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock?
That's in 15 minutes. Does he have something special to say, sir? These are 3 different hookah charges.
Yeah, I think it's all about hookah, Frank. It's all about hookah. I've advised him about the hookah. He said that he'll discontinue it. I don't know what else he'll be able to offer you.
Got to get the fire extinguishers inspected.
Yeah, those were all taken care of. In fact, I represented him in criminal court, and we presented the judge with the proof that it was all correct.
I mean,
Tell me what the concern is, Chairman.
in theory, it should go up, but because he's trying to make an effort to come, I'm trying to.
Are you done with the?
We are done.
We're not done.
Well, we're one from done.
Pretty close from done, yeah.
Because you went for the alterations.
I'll take a stern warning.
Hey.
I'll take a stern.
Shoot your shot.
Been there before.
I mean, literally, we both have it marked to go up, but because you are here and supposedly coming, I'm gonna accept 3,500. I try.
With the warning that this is going to.
Yeah, just don't do it again.
Thank you.
Commissioner?
I will also accept 3,500.
Thank you for your patience.
No, thank you.
All right. So
I'm
now,
sorry we weren't here long enough for that to work out.
now it's 11:55. Puebla Seafood Inc.
All right.
Morning.
Hi.
Apologize
Thank you
for being late.
No, you're not late. We're just early.
Yeah, usually it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon for me.
Yes, we get it. So we understand that you filed some changes with the community board?
Yes, we did.
And what are those changes?
So it's basically alterations to comply with, if I can give you a little history on this premises. They've been open maybe 18 years or something like that. And they had the opportunity to lease the back of the store, and that's where, I think it was maybe 15 years ago that they did that.
Something's interfering with.
Okay.
And, okay. And quite frankly, they didn't realize that they'd never submitted the alterations, and they had somebody else working for them at the time. So, after, many visits by the authority, and, you see their history, this is the first time that that's come up. And actually, they even got a second violation on the alterations. So what we did is, we presented it to the community board. They had a hearing at the community board. The community board is in support. And I'm not sure if you have their letter in support on file already. They just sent it. Excellent. So they just sent it.
What is it?
So I'll forward it to you. So the district manager for the community board just attached saying that they're voting to approve the alterations.
That's fine. All right, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna accept the 25,000 and adjust your method of operation with the conditions that's in your application.
Yes.
I concur.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
I have nothing else. Chair, do you have anything?
No, I have nothing else.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Meeting's adjourned.